Hello and welcome to my review of The Goodies, the complete BBC collection. Today we're beginning Season 2 with Episode 1, Scotland, aka the Loch Ness Monster. In this episode, a very depressed zookeeper, Bresslaw, is desperate to find a monster to fill the zoo's new monster house. So the boys go off to Scotland to try and catch the Loch Ness Monster, but of course things do not go as planned. There are a few notable elements in this episode. As we begin Season 2, Bill's hair is noticeably much longer and he's growing in that beard. He's really growing into that kind of hippie-ish 70s look. This episode is also notable for containing Tim's first patriotic speech, accompanied by Land of Hope and Glory. Also in this episode, we see Tim's first baked bean ad, the first of many baked bean ad parodies that he is famous for. Highlights of this episode include many great visual gags. The boys have really started off Season 2 with some really inventive and original stuff. I particularly love the business with the sporrans as little creatures and the giant bagpipe spider. It was just done so beautifully and it was so much fun. Another highlight of this episode for me was Bill's song, The One That Got Away. I just think it's a fantastic song and shows again what a great talent Bill had. I know he co-wrote the songs, but his work really shines in this episode. The other thing I loved in this episode was the underwater scene when the boys are under Loch Ness in their diving outfits while Tim's holding his breath. It's just done in such a fun way with the bubbles and the fish on strings and all that. It's just a lot of fun. This episode's guest stars are Stanley Baxter, a British comedy legend, and also the wonderful Bresslaw. I am actually a big Carry On fan and I love Bresslaw and he's so good in this. But it was weird watching it because I hadn't realised, when I was younger watching it, I wasn't into the Carry On films then and I just didn't know who Bresslaw was. So it was a really pleasant surprise for me to see him in this episode. I guess one thing that people might take exception to in this episode is the characterisation of the Scottish guy, the tourist guy that they go to at the tourist information shop. He is a complete stereotype of the Scottish, cartoony figure. He's only interested in money, etc., etc. Obviously this is not the way things would be done today, perhaps. But the way I was looking at it, the whole show is like a cartoon. The goodies are like cartoon characters. So in that context, it kind of, it makes some sense, but obviously, yes, not what we would do today and not what would be acceptable today. Overall, I thought this episode was a really strong start to Season 1. So many laugh out loud moments and just so much fun and energy and imagination in this episode. Really a great example of the goodies at their best. I hope you'll join me next time when we move on to Episode 2, which is one I've never seen before, Commonwealth Games. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you then. Bye.